Hi everyone, I hope you're doing great today. So I just stumbled on a very bizarre news, but of course nothing out of Africa surprises me anymore. Can you imagine that ECOWAS actually appointed Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria as the champion of COVID-19 response? Like champion. And this was happening only days after the Ghanaian president, Nana AKUFO ADDO, had just broken record and made history by becoming the first African president to, in official capacity, relax the ban in his country. Can you imagine that? So by making Buhari the champion of the COVID-19 response, Buhari is now going to lead the charge to stamp out the virus within the sub-region. I thought that you give something like this to somebody who had actually done something and has succeeded in it. Now, what response has Buhari succeeded in within his own country? Is it the same Buhari that under his regime, more than $64 million was raised by the private sector for the COVID-19 relief, and not even up to 0.5% of that money was expended on the people who needed it? The rest of it went audio. Nobody knows what happened to the money. And the people are suffering and dying on daily basis, to the point that a man like me will now have to be spending thousands of dollars to help Nigerians feed. I've been doing this for the past 3 weeks. We've been wiring raw cash to people. Our people are desperate and they are dying in their numbers from starvation. Buhari has done virtually nothing about that. Some of the most disorganized responses I've ever seen to COVID-19 is witnessed in Nigeria. The most organized response, which has actually gone ahead to prove itself for what it is recognized in Ghana. If these Ghanaians were not able to learn how to generate data internally, the man would never have relaxed the lockdown. But he has been able to learn how to do it. African leaders should get around this man and ask him, how did you do it? He is the person that should have been appointed as the champion, so that he can lead the charge and replicate what they have done in Ghana in all the other African nations. And you are giving it to a man who has been a big failure in the whole response thing that you're talking about. It beats my imagination, but I do understand what just happened. You know, when you don't understand how these dark forces operate, you will be confused all the time. You know what they just did? They just subliminally and indirectly chastised the Ghanaian president for making that move. I wish that people's brain would be open to the schemings of these evil dark forces. I am pretty sure the colonial powers and their Chinese collaborators had put the ECOWAS guys under pressure to chastise the Ghanaian president by recognizing a failure and holding it in high esteem over the success that is evident and obvious to all. That's what they just did. By appointing Buhari the champion of COVID-19 response, they're sending a message across, telling AKUFO ADDO that what you did is risky, it is nonsensical, it is not acceptable. The one that is acceptable is the one that Buhari is doing, who is not considering an extension of the lockdown, despite all the deaths that we are recording in Nigeria. They want you to know that Buhari is the one who's doing the right thing. That's why they had to appoint him as a champion. But the one who actually did the right thing and saved African lives, which is AKUFO ADDO, should not be paid attention to. That's just the message. It's a subliminal message. It's a subliminal message. So imagine Buhari leading the charge to stamp out the virus within the West African sub-region. How is he supposed to do that? I just read that the Nigerian Center for Disease Control director was saying that there's no reason why the virus will not spread in all the states of Nigeria. He is predicting the same predictive contagion model that America don't, that Ghana don't, is what this man is now going to use to visit all the West African states. In what sense? Dr. Jerome Adams is the U.S. Surgeon General. The day he announced that America was dumping the WHO predictive contagion model, I knew that freedom has come. That was the day I announced that indeed God is going to give us a second chance. Because the moment they lay their hands on the original data, rather than the predictive one, which is largely based on predictions, the states began to open up. Because the guy said it, he said they were handing the data to all the different states in America. And with this original data, with this reliable data, the states were now going to begin to make decisions on lockdown, to whether they are going to continue to lock down or lift the lockdown and then let the people move. And guess what? Based on that, Donald Trump announced that based on that people are likely to see many states open even ahead of the scheduled first week in May. Is that happening now or not? As I speak to you right now, the state of California, which is Democrat-run, has opened some of its beaches, and many more places are going to open by Monday. As I speak to you, the Democrat-run Kentucky is opening up already as we speak. By Monday, many places are going to be open. As I speak to you right now, Georgia has opened up salons, barbering salons, and other places, gyms. All of them, tattoo parlors are open. People are moving. By Monday, many more will be open. Alaska, states are opening in America ahead of the first week in May scheduled earlier. Why are they all opening? Because now they're working with the original data. And the only country in Africa that has proven that they could actually generate original data internally is Ghana. Ghana has made history. I don't care what you know or think about Nana AKUFO ADDO. He is the recognized champion of COVID-19 response to Africans. And I make this known to you today. God in heaven is my witness, and you know me, when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. We, the African youths, will appreciate Nana AKUFO ADDO, and we are going to confer on him a very prestigious award as the recognized champion of COVID-19 response. You watch. You're going to read it in the news. It will happen. ECOWAS can decide to appoint Buhari as their own champion. AKUFO ADDO is our African champion of COVID-19 response, and we will make it known to the whole world. You cannot fool us all the time. We've had enough of all this betrayal and nonsense in Africa, and that's why I'm calling on Ghanaians. Please bury your political differences. Put sentiments aside. Let us support this man. These guys, these dark forces that are after Africa, they do not like what he has done. This is their response. That appointment on Buhari might look like something that just went, by the side, but this is their own way of showing how angry they are. They did it before. Remember when we were fighting against Ebola? I remember very vividly because I was actively involved in those days. I remember those days when the Minister for Health under President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan announced that we have now found an alternative cure to Ebola. And after making that statement, the very next day, WHO took a full page on Time magazine to chastise and to run down the Ministry of Health for even making the move to say that they have found an alternative cure. They actually began to rubbish the so-called alternative cure. And guess what? It was the same alternative cure that we used to defeat Ebola. To the extent that the US sent their CDC officials to come to Nigeria to know what Nigeria did to defeat Ebola so fast, so quickly, so swiftly. This is what is playing out all over again in Ghana. They don't like the fact that Africans can find solutions to problems by themselves. They want to be the ones to give us solutions to problems that they create. No, these guys are evil. When they create all these their problems, they want us to react so they can give us solutions. But Nana AKUFO ADDO went ahead and provided solution to their madness. And rather than uphold him and hold him in high esteem, Africans are busy busy playing to the gallery. That's why people look down on us in Africa, because they always say it, and it's true, that we are our own worst enemies. Nana has done something that he will be remembered for all his life, his entire generation. You know, when I say this, and people don't understand, because you don't know what the plan was. You don't know what the original plan, you don't know what it was. You look at President Trump, look at President Nana AKUFO ADDO. These two people, every day of your life when you pray, just say, thank you, Lord, for giving us these men. Irrespective of what you think or feel about them. I'm telling you this with all my heart. No sentiments attached. Because I know I am somebody who should know. You don't know where I'm talking from. I know what the plan was. I know what is going on. That's why throughout this season I've been giving you updates, and every single one of the updates I gave you has turned out to be true. And you think I'm just some kind of guy who's just picking news from anywhere. I know what the plan. That's why I know that God brought these men to lead the charge in delivering us. Our people are dying. Our people are dying. And that's why I'm calling on all the African presidents. Please stop betraying your citizens. Stop betraying your citizens. You cannot continue to lock down when the rest of the world is opening up for business. Africans have a lot of poor people. We've had enough of this nonsense. If it is working in Ghana, it can work in your own country. Africa has taken so much heat from this kind of conspiracies. Every time any evil is planned in the world, we are the ones who always bear the brunt. Enough of this carnage in Africa. Lift or relax the lockdown. Roll out social distancing rules and regulations and get the people to abide by them. Because after all, you are not going to have any vaccine until 2020. It is a matter of public record. Go check it out. There is not going to be any vaccine. So why are we locking down? If we stay on lockdown, is it not so that we can get treated? But if the vaccine is not ready till 2020, are you telling me we need to stay locked down until 2020? Please let us think and use our brains. Let life as we know it change, but don't keep people locked down. Vaccines are not ready until 2020. They're not ready. And even if they're ready, even when they become ready, people like Bill Gates is saying that he's going to seek indemnification because they know that the vaccine is going to be fatal to some people. So they are actually still going to take their time to look for indemnification. In other words, the process of getting this vaccine is going to take a while. Why can't we use whatever we can to contain this thing while our people are moving about staying alive? Because if you try to protect your citizens in quote, as you claim, from a virus that could kill, and yet they are dying of hunger, what are you doing? This is why Nana AKUFO ADDO said, no, this cannot continue. Run to him, ask him, how did you do it, President Nana? Let him tell you people what he did, and you do exactly the same thing. I am calling on all the youths of Africa, especially Ghanaian youths. Let us rise up. Let us throw sentiment and political correctness aside and rally around any leader we'll find in Africa who is pro-African, who is proving himself to be a true son of Africa. We will have to rally around him and support him because there are too many African leaders who have sold out, who have betrayed the trust we put in them. Now that we have found one who stood out from the crowd, let us rally around him. Please stop thinking that this is a political stunt. Stop saying this. This is why people don't think that Africans are ever going to wake up. Let us stop this. The plan was huge. And if this man has done what he's done, they are not happy. Let African youth rise up and stand by the people who are going to respond to save African lives. Let the presidents of Africa begin. If you are a youth of Africa in your country, you guys organize yourselves. Begin to open your mouth and demand that the presidents relax the lockdown in your countries. It is working in Ghana. It can work in your own country. Buhari is considering an extension, and our people will resist it. This thing doesn't make sense anymore. It just doesn't make sense. May God help us. Once again, I want to say a very big thank you to President AKUFO ADDO for showing strong leadership and leading the way. And I want to speak to you directly. Please, if there's anybody that can listen to you amongst all these presidents in Africa, please speak to them. Tell them to save lives. African lives are getting wasted for nothing. Absolutely for nothing. Can you help us also to lead the way? Call your colleagues and tell them to do what you have done. Show them what you did and let them do the same thing. Congratulations again. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the Republic of Ghana. God bless every other president that is going to do what you have done. And God bless African citizens. Amen.